Hey everyone, Jay here. Today we're going to be going over the 89 Sabers Windu hilt. And this can be a little bit of a review slash reveal. So I was really extremely impressed with this hilt when I got it in. A lot of hilts, when you get them, they're, especially ones that are machined mostly out of aluminum, they're very lightweight. And while they may still be a very sturdy hilt, just the feel of them doesn't inspire whole lot of confidence, or doesn't feel like a real, I mean, it should have thing exists like how a real lightsaber might actually feel weight-wise. This is an exception to that. This has a wonderful heft to it when you get it empty. It just feels very well made, even just picking it up. And I can't really say enough about this particular replica. It is just really fantastic. It is extremely well made, well thought out. The install on it is relatively straightforward. I'd say it's probably a little bit above average as far as difficulty on the install, just because of the spaces you're dealing with. This is 7/8 inch all the way through. And you do have some components up in here which house the built-in switches that you kind of have to, you more or less need to kind of know your way around building a lightsaber to really build this one effectively and to build it well. Excuse me. That said, this is just, again, so well thought out and such a great design, and it just so faithfully reproduces the movie hilt, and and like I was saying earlier, it just has this wonderful weight to it. Reminds me a lot of the MK1 from Roman. That again, also another saber that has just a really nice heft to it. I mean, it feels like a real world item and not like a cheap knockoff or something. So this one is mine, and I've installed it with a Plector Labs Prism 5.1 soundboard. We've got an RGB LED in here using a royal blue for my preferred way of doing it. I think I've said that in videos before, but it kind of gives you better blue mixes, and especially if you start trying to mix purples, which obviously, this being Mace Windu's lightsaber, we've got some purple blades. Also in here, I've got an 18650 lithium-ion battery rated at 10 amps and 3500 milliamps hour. Nice good capacity. We've got a 24 millimeter Saber Essentials speaker, a Switchcraft recharge port hidden down here, and a chassis by Order 66 printed in purple. So I'm going to go ahead and just fire this guy up so you can kind of see what we did here. So while this uses a Prism 5.1, does have deep sleep, I put the kill key in just to kind of show you that you can use that in here. So I'm just going to pull the kill key out. This is a rotary one. And sometimes these rotary ones don't work that well. You do kind of have to sand them to get them to turn. I usually just pull them out, especially with soundboards that have the deep sleep feature on them. So I got this thing packed with 6 fonts. The first two fonts on here are definitely Mace Windu inspired. First one is Windu's Fury. So obviously a prequel era inspired font. You know, it has some sound bites off of it from, I believe, both Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones. It's nice, wonderful font. Goes great with this saber. If you want to really have fun with the Mace Windu saber, though, Shamim's BMF font. He's demoed this before. All credit for this goes to Shamim. But I feel like every Mace Windu saber needs to have this on there.
Motherfucker! Bad motherfucker.
You get the idea.
I'm still alive, motherfucker!
This font's just way too much fun. Obviously, a little bit R-rated, but again, it's just too much fun not to put on a Mace Windu saber. When I first built this, I probably spent an hour that night just swinging that fawn around, just laughing. Anyway, let me open this guy up and show you some of the details here. So I have left off the cover tech for right now, just because I've been playing around with this thing, and frankly, it's kind of sticks out a little bit, and I just didn't want to knock it off. So there's multiple places this saber opens up. You saw me take the pommel off to get at the kill key, but it also comes apart here in the middle. And this is what gives you that access into basically get down at the sound card. Now there's multiple chassis out there for this saber. I went with this particular one because it was kind of an all-in-one and would fit the soundboard I wanted to put in here, which is the Prison 5.1. You can see I also printed this guy in purple. This chassis, again, is from Order 66. It is a very nice chassis, very well put together. There's these little cover plates that cover the bottom side if you need to do any wire tucks, so you can kind of hide them in there. And there's also a cover that's supposed to go over the top of the soundboard. I have left that off because I found that it just didn't quite sit perfectly right. And that may just be with possibly just a slight size difference in the this particular print of this chassis. Either way, I mean, this thing is very sturdy, so you don't even really need that cover on there. It just kind of makes it look neat, but I actually kind of like having the bare soundboard there. Moving up to top part here, this saber is just so well thought out. There's a built-in piece that goes in here that houses 2 switches and these basically switch plates that these little brass bars adhere on top of, and they contact down with the switches, and so it gives you this nice built-in switch feature. So you don't have to worry about trying to affix some switches underneath here for some weird way, or get some special 3D printed device to do that for you. The rubber grips on this thing, as you can see, you've got just that that great detail there, and also all the grips that inset onto the handle of the saber. Again, this thing is just solid, well built. Everything threads together, so it really does have a nice, just sturdy, strong feel to it. When you get this, it also comes in a nice box. So you get a nice little box here. It comes from 89 Sabers. It says high-end collectible edition on there. And in the box, I took out the bubble wrap so you can see this a little bit better, so this doesn't fall out. But this is what you get. You get basically the bare saber here, and you get all your parts up in these other 2 little cubbies in the box there. Again, this thing is very well packed in here. And also it comes with some bubble wrap in there to help protect the saber. Again, putting this thing together is not terribly difficult, but does take a little bit of work. This is how it comes. So you can see that you got to inlay the grips there. They pretty much just press fit in there. I didn't use any epoxy or glue to put mine in, and I've tested trying to get them out, and it would take quite a bit of effort too, so I'm not really worried about those popping out. There is a gold, or I guess brass band that goes right along here, which is loose, which you do need to use some epoxy to get on. And then also this ring right here is loose. It is held by friction though when you screw in the pommel. And if you're worried about getting the cover tech to line up, you could actually sand down, whoops, I'm losing a piece, part of this ring here, because there is a bit of a lip on it, to actually get that cover tech to line up how you want it. So it'll rotate the pommel there, and you can affix it into the screen accurate position. You can see in here there's this piece right in here. It's actually about this big. There's a screw that holds it in place, and you can turn this either direction. I think it comes with where you press the switches at the top. For mine, I did it so they're at the bottom. This felt a little bit more comfortable for me, but you could do it either way, where you either press at the top or at the bottom there. And that thing comes out, and then the LED would just fit in right up about in here, and give you, you know, probably close to about 1.5 inches of a blade socket, which is, you know, for a 7/8 inch blade is actually pretty good. I mean, it holds it in there very well. I'll demonstrate a blade in here in a minute. So that's how this guy comes. Like I said, it's very well packaged, and it's just extremely well made. So let's show off the blade in there for a second. Let me just crack this guy open to take the blade plug out. So up at the top, you've got the, you probably saw him when I lit it up, but I'll light it up again. Maybe, oh, I put the blade plug, or the kill key in. Just take that out.
Look at me when I'm talking to you, motherfucker.
So we're gonna go ahead and leave that BMF font in because it's a lot of fun. And I know you can see the lights there. If I rotate around, you'll see there's one that doesn't light up. That's actually what's holding the set screw.
I'm still alive, motherfucker!
That's just fun. And so that's what's actually going to hold the blade plug and or the blade. So you can see you got this. This comes with it. Again, it's a nice little blade plug. It's got the brass tip on it. So we're going to take a 7/8 inch blade. It's about a 32 inch blade. And we'll tighten her down. Tighten her up. So again, lovely, beautiful purple.
Motherfucker. 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 Bad motherfucker.
And it is.
I'm still alive, motherfucker!
So being a Prism, we got 6 sound fonts. I put Unhinged on here. This fire orange blade.
Cyber Assassin.
Cyber Assassin. Very pink blade. Hoth, this is a nice font. Got a bit of a white purple kind of ice blade.
That lightsaber was Luke's and his father's before him, and now he calls to you.
And then we've got Graphics 7 high definition, another Shamim font, and a nice, lovely blue blade there. So again, being you know, RGB, you know, we can cycle through any of the color presets that are they've programmed into this. So I got 16 color profiles on here. You get the general idea there. Got a handful of purples to play around with.
May the Force be with us all.
So to summarize, this hilt here is just absolutely fantastic. If I had to give it a rating from 1 to 10, I don't know. This has got to be an 8 or a 9. If you collect Canon hilts, in my opinion, it's just simply a must-have. It's just easily the best, you know, kind of accurate 1-to-1 sized Mace Windu hilt that's out there. And again, it's just extremely well made. It will fit pretty much any board except for a crystal focus. I would recommend probably just the Prism 5.1 just because of its size. You can get a full size 18650 lithium ion battery in there, and plenty of room for wiring and recharge port, and a nice big chunky speaker. If you are new to building, I wouldn't necessarily recommend trying to tackle it yourself. Like I said, it's probably just a little bit above average on the difficulty scale. but it is definitely a rewarding saber to put into your collection, and it's a whole lot of fun. So hopefully this has been informative, and again, if you haven't seen one of these or played with one yet, do so. Pick one up, especially if you love Cannon hilts. All right, guys, thanks. Bye.